Shalom, shalom. We give all praises to Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Double honors to the elders and apostles of great millstone. Peace and shalom to the elect that's pushing out this word throughout the four corners of the globe in sincerity and truth for the edification of the house of Dawadah. We do these lessons, we do these videos. Hopefully it'll be edifying. Just want to bring out a few scriptures on understanding things spiritually, which means understanding things outside your flesh, because your flesh is chains of darkness, meaning it will keep you from the spiritualness of Yahweh Shem Yahushua's will. Understanding Yahweh Shem Yahushua, who the world calls God and Jesus, understanding his will is a spiritual understanding. You must understand the ways of the Lord spiritually. Let's get this first scripture. This is Romans chapter 7. I'm going to start at verse 1. It says, "Know ye not, brethren, for I speak to them that know the law." This is Paul speaking to the Israelites in Rome who knew the law, knew the understanding of the law. How that the law, right, the commandments, the statutes, the judgments, have dominion over a man as long as he liveth. For the woman which has a husband is bound by the law to her husband so long as he liveth. But if the husband be dead, she is loosed from the law of her husband, meaning the binding contract of the husband and the wife is bound in the law. And there were certain aspects of the law you must follow. So you have to understand these things spiritually, outside your flesh, not just your woman, but what it meant to be cleaved unto your woman, to be one with your woman. Being all over the place confuses things. It confuses families, it confuses children, and it's not a spiritual good look. Going down to verse 14, it says, "For we know that the law is spiritual, but I am carnal," Paul said, "sold unto sin." We know that the law is spiritual. It's good. It's from the Lord. It says, "For that which I do, I allow not. For what I would, that do I not, but what I hate, that I do." And to give a better understanding, since Apostle Dahar came out with this CSB, let's look at this in the CSB real quick. Look at the CSB, which is the Christian Standard Bible. And I'm going to go back and I'm going to read this again in the CSB. This is Romans 7 and 14. "For I know that the law is spiritual, but I am of the flesh, sold as a slave to sin," which you were just a slave to sin, because your body, this flesh, this is what this is what the flesh do to you. It keeps you under subjection. It keeps you a slave to sin. Sin is the breaking of the commandments, laws, and not being a right judge, being reprobate. This is what the flesh do. It separates you from the spirit of understanding. It says, "For I do not understand what I'm doing, because I do not practice what I want to do, but I do what I hate." Wait a minute, that's confusion. You do the things that you hate, and what you want to do, you don't do. You see how confusing that is? How the flesh just separates you from the understanding of what Yahweh Shem Yahushua wants you to do and what is required of you. This is very needful to understand, that understanding the Spirit of the Lord, you must separate yourself from the flesh, meaning to live outside your flesh, outside of what feels good to you. Because the things that's spiritual, right, keeps you away from the pleasures of the flesh. Actually, it's a protection. So your flesh don't be caught up in the world. This is a needful thing, to not be part of the world, but still live spiritually. I'm going to stay in the CSB, and I'm going to go to Matthew 27, Matthew the 5th chapter, and the 27th verse. It says, "You have heard that it was said, 'Do not commit adultery.' But I tell you, everyone who looks at a woman lustfully has already committed adultery with her in his heart." This is the Lord speaking. It's in the red. "If your right eye causes you to sin, gouge it out and throw it away. For it is better that you lose one of the parts of your body than for your whole body to be thrown into hell, into captivity, into a place of torment." Because your body, right, if it keeps that unspiritual part, that lump of leaven, it would destroy your whole body. And there's no such place as hell, meaning a condition. A condition. What would happen? You continue committing adultery. Well, your body could lose its spirit. It could lose its soul. It could be taken away from that, from the man that you committed adultery with his wife with. Your soul will be separated from your body. It says, verse 30, "And if your right hand causes you to sin, cut it off and throw it away." It doesn't mean literally, but what it means is you have to separate the spirit from the flesh. What Paul say? He do what he don't want to do, and he don't do what he need to do. This is the same thing applied to your hand. Don't touch that. If you want to touch that, cut that hand off so it don't touch it no more. It says, "For it's better that you lose one of the parts of your body than your whole body to go into hell." Why would you have your whole body in hell, in a torment? Makes no sense. 1 John, stay in the CSB, 1 John 3 and 4, it says, "Everyone who committed sin practices lawlessness." What happens in lawlessness? There's no order. It says, "And sin is lawlessness." This is what sin is transgression of the law. Lawlessness. So if it's a whole society, which America is a whole society of lawlessness, because they have rights. They've been given rights to homosexuals, pedophiles, degenerates, to practice what they want to do, or what they feel good that they want to do. You got Mambala, you got transsexuals, cutting off penises, putting on penises. This is madness. This is total lawlessness, according to what the Lord, Yahweh Shem Shai, laid down. This is total, complete lawlessness, society. This is why we need a Savior. This is why we need a deliverer. Ezekiel 36, to set the record straight. Ezekiel 36 and 27. It says, "I will place my spirit within you and cause you to follow my statutes and carefully observe my ordinances." This is what's needed. He said he's going to do it. He's going to do it. And I will live in the land and you will live in the land that I gave your fathers. You will be my people, and I will be your power. This is what's needed. This is how we keep law. This is how we keep wickedness out of our land. Following the law, statutes, and commandments. Walking spiritually. Not after the flesh, according to Romans 8:1. Therefore, there is no condemnation for those in Yahushua Mashiach, because the law of the Spirit of life in Yahushua has set you free from the law of sin and death. There's no condemnation with those that's in Yahushua and Yahushua in them. The Spirit of life is in you, is in us. When we keep the law, statutes, and commandments and not live according to our flesh. It says, what the law could not do since it was weakened by the flesh, Yahweh did. He condemned sin in the flesh by sending his own son in the likeness of sinful flesh as a sin offering. This is the purpose of Yahushua dying on the cross. He was the sin offering, the ultimate sin offering, so we can not be condemned by the sin that we were doing. Learning and don't sin no more by having a faith in Yahushua. In order that the Lord's requirements would be fulfilled in us who do not walk according to the flesh, but according to the Spirit. This is the reason why he died and rose, so we can shed that carnal mind, that sinful flesh mind, walking and just walking and living in flesh, in what we feel, instead of living in the Spirit. Instead of living in the Spirit. Galatians, I'm going to leave you with this. Galatians, and I hope it was edifying. Galatians 5:16, it says, I say then, this is the Spirit speaking, walk by the Spirit, and you will certainly not carry out the desire of the flesh, of your flesh. You walk in the Spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, understanding that you and Yahushua and you walks now in the Spirit, because it has now turned that flesh into dead flesh, and you're now walking in the Spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. For the flesh desires what is against the Spirit, and the Spirit desires what is against the flesh. These are opposed to each other, so that you don't do what you want. And this is what you try to tell people. You can't tell me what to do. You can't tell me what I need. You can't judge me. Oh, the Spirit is judging you. And I'm just warning you that you continue in the flesh, you're going to be dead with your flesh. You're going to be put in hell. But if you are led by the Spirit, you are not under the law, because you live in the penalty of the law. This is what it means by you being under the law, not under the law, because it's the penalty of the law, right? That hell, that torments, that wicked lifestyle. You're no longer under that penalty. You are now living in the Spirit. See, verse 19 says, now the works of the flesh are obvious: sexual immorality, moral impurity, promiscuity, idolatry, sorcery, hatred, strife, jealousy, outbursts of anger, selfish ambitions, dissensions, factions, envy, drunkenness, carousing, and anything similar. I am warning you about these things, as I have warned you before. This is the Lord speaking in the Spirit through Paul. That those who practice such things will not inherit the kingdom of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. Very simple and very plain. He's warned you once, he's warned you again. 3 strikes, you're out. You see? So it's very simple, man. There's fruits of the Spirit, right? Love, joy, patience. And the church always teach this, but they never teach the law. How can you live in the Spirit when the spirit of the law is justified? Love, joy, patience, kindness, goodness, faithful, but you smoking cigarettes in the parking lot of the church, or you cheating on the congregation's wife because the husband is at home and the wife come to church every Sunday, or you in the back room with the accolade, or the Sunday or in the Sunday school praying on the little children, little boys. The priests praying on little boys and the nuns praying on little children. Gentleness and self-control. The law is not against such things. The law is good. The law is spiritual. Walk in the Spirit. Shalom.